Hi everyone, this is Abhishek Mathur, your physics faculty for JEE Mains, and today we are here to discuss a very important topic, and that is how to understand basics of physics. See, I have came across a lot of students who try their best, they work hard, but still they are not getting the result which they desire. All right, and when they come to me and they ask, "Sir, why I'm not able to solve this particular question?" So when I discuss the problem with those guys, with those students, what I have observed is that see their basics are not clear. They are not able to understand. They are not able to apply what they have learned in the class while solving the problems. It means that most of the students are lacking in the understanding of physics. So how we can overcome this problem so that students don't face the obstacle in their way. All right, so to understand the basics of physics, the first and the foremost thing is to pay attention when your teacher is teaching in the class. And before that, there's one thing which I would like to discuss in particular is that see, in current scenario there are a lot of materials available on the internet which is somewhat good for the students, but the result has been somewhat opposite. All right, things are not going to work until and unless you are lost in so many materials. If you have so many materials at your hand, then you have to pick one material of any particular institute and then stick to it. What's happened in the past few years now is that there are so many materials available, and because of the availability of so many things, students get lost. I want you guys to stick to one particular material and one particular teacher of your choice. Please pay attention while the topic is explained in the class. When your teacher is explaining everything to you, please pay attention and understand each and everything clearly with a calm mind, and do let the teacher know if you are having any sort of problem. What students do is, if there is something which they have skipped, it doesn't matter what the reason is. If you have skipped something, it might be a very small thing, but if you have skipped that particular thing and you are unable to understand that, you should straight away ask your teacher, "Sir, I am unable to understand this. Please repeat this topic." All right, because if you won't do so now, you will face bigger problem or more difficulties in the future. That small thing which you could have understood simply by requesting your teacher, you assumed that I will be able to understand, I will be able to understand it later on, or I will ask a friend of mine, or this and that. But later on this is going to be a big trouble. You guys will find yourself in trouble if you don't clear your doubts there and then. All right, so this is first thing. Whenever you are attending a lecture from any teacher, be it from Altedemy or from any teacher, you can always interrupt your teacher to ask your doubts. All right, make sure if you are sitting in the class, then you are able to understand each and everything clearly when it is taught in the class. Second thing, when you go home from your class, or in today's world you are already at your home, when your class ends, please go ahead and revise all the theory and all the concepts and all the questions which are discussed in the class. See, what happens is, when a teacher is teaching in the class, that particular teacher is time bound. That teacher cannot solve so many problems in the class itself. So when a teacher is doing some problems in the class, some numericals, please pay attention. The very purpose of those numericals is to make you understand that how to apply what you have learned in the theory in the question, right? Because theory because theory and numericals are two totally different things. Understanding concept and how to apply that concept while solving a problem is totally different, right? So please revise at your home all the numericals, all the theory which are discussed in the class, right? Make sure that all the theory is clear. And after doing this, what you have to do is, please solve questions, especially when it comes to subjects like physics and chemistry. You have to solve the questions, all right? Solve as many as questions as you can. And see, when the questions will be different or difficult, na, they will pose you a problem. And when you will ask the doubts, to your teachers, you will understand that why this particular question is different from the another question which you were able to solve. Why you were able to solve this question by, but why you are not able to solve the other question. All right, so you have to solve as many questions as you can and get your doubts cleared by your teacher. See, in these last few years now, I have noticed that students are inclining towards the material which is available at the internet. Believe me, I can tell you this from my personal experience, that books can never replace a teacher. Believe me when I say this. A teacher can make you understand a concept by different ways, and while doing so, a teacher can also tell you the different cases. If, for example, if I'm teaching conservation of linear momentum, students are not thorough with the concept of system. Momentum is not conserved for the body, momentum is conserved for the system. And this very thing is not clear to a lot of students, and they face problem in conservation of linear momentum, in collision, and in various topics wherever it is used. They are always struggling because they don't know their concepts. So please pay attention when a teacher is teaching you. Go home, revise each and everything, and then solve as many questions as you can. And see, as as an extra effort, what you can do is you can read certain books, but I will strongly advise you to don't depend on the book itself. All right. See, there can be some of you who are exceptional; they can do this, but majority of students like us, when we were students, we cannot depend solely on the books. All right, because books will not be able to teach you guys in an efficient manner. You can definitely read books, I'm not denying that you should not read books. Please go through your ncrts and hc vermas and everything. You can read their theory, it's amazing. But what I'm trying to imply is that you cannot solely depend on it alone. All right, they cannot replace a teacher. Please understand this thing. Keep this in your mind. Please listen to your teachers and solve as many questions as you can. All right, so let me try to conclude. Let me try to conclude what we have learned so far. What we have learned so far, the first and the foremost thing which you have to do, just give me a minute. The first and the foremost thing which you have to do is pay attention. Pay attention in class. Pay attention in class and understand each and everything in great detail. And second second is ask ask your doubts. Ask your doubts. Ask your doubts in class itself. In class itself. If you have any doubt, please ask your teacher then and there only. All right, you don't have to postpone, or you don't have to think, no, I will do it some other time, I will ask my friend or anything. And the third point is revise, revise, revise what you have learned. Revise what you have learned in class. Revise what you have learned in class. This is really very important. And fourth is solve solve questions. Solve questions of of that particular topic, of that particular topic, of that particular topic from any one book, from any one book or material first. See, I have seen that because of the availability of the material in the market, or rather I should say on the online platforms, these students are having materials of so many institutes, and they are not able to complete one chapter. Instead of going for all the material, stick to one material and then solve each and every chapter from that material itself, right? Because if you will go after the questions of all the modules now of different institutes, then you won't be able to cover it, I can assure you that, right? And see, majority of questions are same, believe it or not. I have worked with some very renowned institutes, and I can tell you that there isn't much difference. All right, there isn't much difference, questions are more or less same. So please stick to one particular module, and once you have done that particular chapter, then I can assure you that all your doubts, or most of your doubts, will be clear. Right? And then at the end, what you can do is you can check your understanding by solving the previous year questions. All right, to confirm to confirm your progress to confirm your progress to confirm your progress, solve solve previous solve previous year questions. All right, see, if there's one thing which I would like you to take away from this chapter, is that it's you who have to do it. You have to be attentive in the class. See, as a teacher, me or anyone else cannot do your job. What we can do is we can make you understand a concept, we will try our best, but it's you who have to understand it and give your best. It's you who have to be attentive, and just in case you are not able to understand, it's you who have to tell us, sir, I have not understood this particular topic. Can you please repeat it again? And as a teacher, I would definitely repeat it again. And not just me, any other teacher will do it, because the very purpose of teaching is to make students understand the various subjects which teachers will teach. In my case, I teach physics. So the very reason why I'm teaching is that I want to make a difference in your life. When I'm teaching you, I want you to understand each and everything which is taught in the class. All right. I don't want you to attend my lecture and then go and watch some other lecture of any other faculty, right? Because I want you to understand each and everything in my class itself, because you will be wasting your time if you are understanding same thing here and then you are going for some other faculty. Then you are wasting your time understanding same thing over and over again. Please understand one thing in one particular lecture and then dedicate your remaining time for the questions, right? Because it's question which is going to teach you how well you have understood a topic or not. Right? So this is something which I would like you to take on from this lecture, and I hope it will work out for you and you will be able to see the changes in your study pattern. All right, so thank you so much and all the best.